What's good, YouTube? It's Nas, and we back with another video. Road to 300 subscribers. Of course, I keep posting every day, but the trade deadline is officially over, and a lot of teams made some moves. A lot of teams got better, and a lot of teams got worse. So we're just gonna go over the moves, every single move that went on during this trade deadline. It was a crazy trade deadline. I thought nothing was really gonna happen, and the most that was gonna move was Cam Johnson, and Cam Johnson didn't even get fucking moved. So it didn't really matter what actually happened. And to set it all off, we all know what set it off. It was the Luka Doncic trade to the Lakers, and the Lakers have gotten better. Nobody can complain what the Lakers did this trade deadline. No Lakers fans should be mad at Rob Pelinka. They was talking about Rob Pelinka don't like to make no moves. Rob Pelinka don't do nothing. And then right after that, they get Luka Doncic. And then right before I uploaded the Brandon Ingram video I uploaded yesterday, or at 12 a.m., they get Mark Williams from Charlotte Hornets. I understand. People don't see what I see in Mark Williams, because I saw it with my own eyes. Yes, he has been injury prone, yes, but I seen what he did 2 years ago or last season, even when he was healthy, and he still has to develop. He's still only 23 years old. He's 7'2" with the longest wingspan in the NBA. He has a longer wingspan than Wemby. So when people say his concerns on defense, he's not back to what he was a couple seasons. He's still dealing with his back injury a little bit, so he still has to work his way up. He still has to work his way back into shape, back into the player he was. But the last few games in Charlotte, he hasn't been showing energy. He's been getting bitched a lot. So obviously the Hornets felt like they could move on, they could get a better center, and they moved on. But for the Lakers' point of view, Luka's gonna make Mark Williams look amazing. LaMelo made Mark Williams look good, but Luka's gonna make that nigga. He's gonna make that nigga work, bro. And he's playing with LeBron James. And LeBron James is his favorite player ever. So LeBron James is going to get Mark Williams to work. We're not gonna see no energy issues. We're not gonna see no we're not gonna see that. There's not much more to say. Because even if Mark Williams gets bitched, you still have Vando on the help side trying to help him out. So I don't really get it. But the Lakers get an A+ in my opinion. They still got Maxi Kleber. Maxi Kleber is injured right now. He comes back in 8 or 9 weeks. They're most likely going to move on from the offseason, and the Lakers become a legitimate contender now. I didn't think they were a contender at all, but it's funny that as soon as they trade AD has been wanting a center since he got to LA, and now they get a center as soon as Luka comes to town. So it just shows that they're ready. This is Luka's team. This is Luka basketball now. And Anthony Davis to the Mavs, I said why Anthony Davis is a somewhat good move. I still don't understand what Nico Harrison was thinking trading Luka Doncic, but I can understand because Anthony Davis is a great player. He's an elite defender. He's elite in everything a big man could do. There's not too much to say. And they also traded Quentin Grimes for Caleb Martin. I don't think I like that move, because I like the way Quentin Grimes was playing for the Dallas Mavericks, and he had a cheaper contract than Caleb Martin. So I guess it's opinion based. I don't know. Jimmy Butler to the Warriors, I made a whole video about that. Jimmy is going to be a motivated Jimmy Butler coming back from this hiatus, this beef with the Miami Heat. He's gonna be motivated, but I don't see the Warriors doing anything. I just don't understand. I guess I just don't really see the bigger picture. They traded Andrew Wiggins. Andrew Wiggins was basically a Warrior icon for the 2020s. He helped them get a championship in 2022. So Wiggs held it down, but they do get an improvement, and Jimmy Butler is going to be motivated. The Warriors still have a lot to do. That maybe they go all out in the buyout market, but this is going to be one hell of a playing race for them, because Jimmy doesn't add to what they need. Jimmy Butler and Draymond Green on the same court is going to be hilarious. But the next move, De'Aaron Fox to the Spurs, and I love that move. If you was watching the game yesterday, you see how much De'Aaron brings to that Spurs team. I just love De'Aaron's game. Like, I made a video about De'Aaron, talking about De'Aaron separately, but what he really added to this Spurs team was speed. And I saw a stat that the Spurs are 18th in the league at driving to their left, and De'Aaron Fox is third in the league driving to his left, because obviously De'Aaron Fox is left-handed. So De'Aaron had 24 points and 13 assists last night, the most assists in a Spurs debut, and that says a lot, because there has been a lot of Spurs icons, and De'Aaron is just going to add that. And they kept Stephon Castle, they kept Jeremy Sohan, they kept Keldon Johnson. The Spurs are set up like I love how they built around Wemby, and they could make a run to the playoffs this season, and they're still built for the future. So next season, I definitely have them making the playoffs. Like, they're gonna make a big jump like the Rockets did this season, but it might be even more, because I just believe in them. The next move we're gonna talk about is Zach LaVine to the Kings. They played last night. Zach LaVine was kind of in a slump, and he hasn't played for 7 days, so I don't blame him. He's getting that rust out of him. They play tonight, so I'm not gonna say that this is a good or bad news. They also got Jonas Valanciunas from the Wizards, so the Kings are, I don't know. They just want to be a super playing team. Like, I don't fucking, why? Like, why would you get Jonas Valanciunas to Zach LaVine? That doesn't help your defense. And you realizing last night watching their game, their defense it's bad. Like, you look at their starting lineup, you could think that their defense is bad, but they're bad. And the backup center, they got Jonas Valanciunas, so that doesn't really help out for their defense at all. So it's whatever, bro. I don't know. But the next move we're gonna go to is Brandon Ingram to the Raptors. That was the last video I made last night, and the Raptors, they just fucked up their playing. I made a whole video on that. Watch that. There's nothing I have to say about that. BI is gonna go do BI stuff, but what does it matter? You're not making the playoffs anyway. You're not good enough to make a run in the playoffs, so why do it at the same time? Next move, Kyle Kuzma to the Bucks. I made a video about that. Don't understand that either. Bucks also got Kevin Porter Jr., which I love that pickup. KPJ to come off the bench and back up Dame. I don't understand the Clippers standpoint. I'm gonna get into the Clippers when I get to them, but Clippers trade their backup point guard. Bucks get KPJ. That's a good pickup for Marjon. I forgot to say his last name, but y'all know who I'm talking about. He's been terrible this season, so it's good that the Bucks got off of him and they get Kevin Porter Jr. as a player, not as a person, because I'm not gonna talk about that. Mark Williams to the Lakers. I already talked about that. Chris Middleton to the Wizards. They said, oh man, the Wizards. Oh my god, I feel bad for Chris Middleton and Marcus Smart. Marcus Smart got traded to the Wizards, and they don't plan to buy them two out, so they're basically in hell for the rest of the season. It's just bad, bro. I feel so bad for them. Like, they can't escape that. Like, oh my god, like, they sent him to die in Washington. Next move we're gonna talk about is DeAndre Hunter to the Cavs, and I love that move for the Cavs, because they traded Karis LeVert, who wasn't really doing anything for this team. He doesn't bring anything. And they traded George Niang, backup center, so they lose out on him too. But DeAndre Hunter has been great this season. I be putting him on some of my parlays when I make parlays, but DeAndre is a bucket when he comes off the bench, and most likely he's gonna start for this team over Max Strus, because he's better than Max Strus, and he has a jump shot too. So I don't really understand what the Hawks are doing. The Hawks look like they're blowing it up. This season, DeAndre Hunter is averaging a career high 19 points, 4 rebounds, and 1.5 assists. So I don't understand this from a Hawks standpoint at all. Like, what are you doing? I thought you're trying to build around Trae Young. I thought you're trying to win games. It doesn't make sense at all from the Hawks' perspective. Like, I get they still have their rookie and Zachary Ricochet. They must believe in him a lot to be trading DeAndre Hunter at the best time of his career. I get it. They sold high on him, but he's been good for the Hawks. He's been a great piece for the Hawks, and I thought the Hawks are trying to make a push for the playoffs. It doesn't make sense trading away one of your best scorers on your team for Karis LeVert. And Karis LeVert, not to say Karis isn't good, but he's not as good as DeAndre Hunter. So I feel like that's basically a fleece move. Like, why would you do that? It makes no sense at all. But the next move, Jonas Valanciunas to the Kings, I talked about that. Bogdanovic get to the Clippers. That's a sleeper move. The Clippers get another shooter to put around Harden and Kawhi. And they, like I said, they traded him. They got him for Terrence Mann and Bones Highland. Bones Highland is finally set free. Terrence Mann, hopefully he could revamp his career with the Hawks, because he's been bad this season. I'm gonna keep it a buck. He's been terrible. So if Terrence Mann could somehow get better and somehow make this serviceable deal for Bogdan, the Hawks could be something. It doesn't make sense, but I love this move for the Clippers. They get a shooter. Dalton connect to the Hornets. I don't. In the Mark Williams trade, it's not like the Hornets got a bad deal. I love the deal that they got for Mark Williams, but it's the fact that you could have drafted Dalton Connect, bro. You had the 6th overall pick and you chose to pick Tajon Salon. He can't even dribble a basketball, bro. He is bad at the sport. So what the fuck are you? Why? But Dalton is gonna be nice. He's gonna be good for the Hornets team. I was mad yesterday when I seen the news, because I believed in Mark Williams. He could be great, but I guess the Hornets didn't see it the same way. They got the same age as Mark Williams in Dalton Connect. They got a shooter around LaMelo, and nothing really much you could say about that. Marcus Smart to the Wizards. I talked about that. They sent him to hell. I feel bad. They sent KPJ to the Bucks. Like I said about that. Jericho Sims to the Bucks. He got traded to the Bucks. That's a good move for the Bucks. They get a backup center for Brook Lopez. They didn't move off of Bobby Portis, which I'm surprised they didn't do. But hey, man, it's, I don't know. Patrick Baldwin to the Bucks. They got a defender. The Bucks did get better. Like, they added more pieces. They added more depth to their team. So you can't really say the Bucks aren't trying to get better. The Bulls, I don't know what the hell the Bulls are doing. Zach Collins went to the Bulls. Kevin Huerter went to the Bulls. Trey Jones went to the Bulls. I don't know. They didn't move off of Vucevic, so it didn't really make sense to me. But hey, man, Drew Eubanks to the Clippers. He went to the Clippers. He backs up Zubac now, so I guess that's a good pickup for them. Jake LaRavia to the Kings. He's been good on the Grizzlies, so I guess the Grizzlies are trying to add more depth to their team, which I felt like they were good enough. They're already 3rd in the West, so I don't know. DeLon Wright to the Knicks. I don't really know about that. Maxi Kleber to the Lakers. I talked about that. Markieff Morris to the Lakers. I talked about that. Caleb Martin to the Mavs. Yeah, I talked about that with the AD shit. Max Christie to the Mavs. Max Christie looked good in his debut, so that was a really good pickup to pair with AD. So I don't know. Bruce Brown to the Pelicans. He's most likely going to get bought out. Kelly Olynyk to the Pelicans. Oh, both of them. I don't know if I said Bruce Brown to the Pelicans, but he's going to the Pelicans. Yeah, Bruce Brown, Kelly Olynyk to the Pelicans, and Dennis Schroeder. He's been half around the world. It's crazy how they doing Dennis. But Dennis Schroeder is going to the Pistons. He's going to help out the Pistons because the Pistons are back. They are a good team this season. So adding Dennis Schroeder to that, be their backup point guard, most likely, because he will not start on this team. I don't know, because the team runs around Cade. Cade is an all-star. Cade is as good as whoever talks about Cade. He's as good as you make it seem, bro. It doesn't matter. Lindy Waters to the Pistons. He was decent for the Warriors throughout his career. He's having a down season shooting the three-pointer, but he can shoot. Kyle Anderson to the Raptors. I don't really care. James Wiseman to the Raptors. I don't really care either. Jaden Springer from the Celtics to the Rockets. He adds defense to the Rockets, so I guess they picked him up. I don't know why the Celtics traded him. I don't know. Maybe they're trying to free up space for another nigga to take up spots and play. But Jaden Springer has looked good in his minutes that he has gotten for the Celtics, so hopefully he could be a good defender to add to this Rockets team. They got Cody Zeller, a backup center. Wait, they don't even need Cody Zeller. They still have fucking Steven Adams. I guess they're adding more depth to their team. Quentin Grimes to the Sixers. I already talked about that. That's a good pickup for the Sixers because he's shooting the three-pointer better than Caleb Martin. And I just think he's a better player than Caleb Martin, in my opinion. Jared Butler to the Sixers. Don't care about that. Jordan McLaughlin to the Spurs. Vasa Micic to the Suns from the Hornets. Thank God. Yeah, Cody Martin to the Suns, and the Suns might be big losers in this trade deadline. They weren't able to get off of fucking. They weren't able to get off Bradley Beal for Jimmy Butler because Bradley Beal said no, and they also, I guess, the only good move they did was get off of Nurkic, but they had to give up a first round pick to get off Nurkic. So, are you really winners if you have to give away one of your first round picks, and that's a 2026 first round pick? In my opinion, they just need to blow it up. There's no adding to that team. Colby Jones to the Wizards, Alex Len to the Wizards, AJ Johnson to the Wizards, PJ Tucker to he's getting waived. I don't even know where he's at right now. Daniel Tice got waived, Reggie Jackson got waived, and Mo Bamba got waived. City Sissoko got waived too. But that's it for the trade deadline. I hope you enjoyed this video. There's gonna be a buyout market, so I'm potentially gonna make a buyout video, but let me know how y'all felt about this amazing trade deadline down below. Subscribe. I hope you enjoyed. I got some videos right here. If you enjoyed this video you just watched, video on the right and video on the left, and click on it.